The following is a presentation of the Western Ontario Super Hockey League. Ladies and gentlemen, Sleeman Breweries proudly presents the Western Ontario Super Hockey League podcast. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Western Ontario Super Hockey League podcast. This is I'm Andrew Rogers, your host, and this is episode number 8. It is great to be back with you guys once again, and thank you very much for tuning in as always. First thing, this episode of the WOSHL podcast is dedicated to the memory of my grandfather, Watt Rogers, who passed away a week and a half ago on Sunday, he was 96, lived a full life, and I took some time off there to be with family and to grieve and to pay my respects and say goodbye to my grandfather, and wasn't able to put a podcast out last week, but I'm back this week and ready to go once again here. Thank you for all the people that messaged and gave their condolences, all the teams in the WOSHL. I really do appreciate it. I will never forget it, and definitely made going through that week a lot easier when it came to various messages I was receiving. So thank you very much. Honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I really do appreciate it, and for all your kind words and sympathies. So thank you for that. But yes, we move on and we come on to another episode here on the WOSHL podcast. It's a great episode we got going on this week. This past weekend was excellent in the WOSHL, and we'll have a recap of all 6 games. We have highlights of all 6 games this past weekend as well. Big shout out to Leah, Klompmaker. She started in the game against Delhi for the Plattsville Lakers and got the win. The first WOSHL goalie, the first female to make to be signed to the WOSHL and men's semi-pro league. And she gets the win. She gets the assist, and she gets a great moment for her. And definitely super proud of her for that. She is one of our 2 guests on the podcast this week, alongside from the Alvinston Killer Bees number 14, Captain Scott Case. So we'll get into those interviews in a second here, guys. But first, what I want to do without further ado is get into our highlights from last week. And then when we come back on the other side, I'll give you guys an update on where we are in terms of the standings, where we are in terms of leading scorers, as well as what we can expect this upcoming weekend, and then we'll get to our interviews. Welcome back to the podcast. It's great to have you guys along, and thank you for tuning in and being supportive, as always. Of course, like I said, my name is Andrew Rogers. I'm the host of the Western Ontario Super Hockey League podcast. This is episode number 8, and it is sponsored, as always, by Sleeman Breweries. Here's an update. Here's our video highlights of last week's action in the WOSHL.
The Stratford Fighting Irish doing their part in the fight against cancer. The Irish wearing special jerseys, raising awareness and funds on Saturday afternoon. Stratford facing the Aaron Blitz in our WOSHL game of the week. Opening period, Riley Coombe is at the point to Ray Robbins, and the captain opens the scoring. Robbins puts it in, 1-0 Irish. Then it's a terrific defensive play from Michael Finley. He dives and takes away a scoring chance from Daniel Heelis. Outstanding from Finley. Moments later, the Irish on the attack. Brodie Smith coming in, and he rips it in. Smith giving Stratford a 2-0 lead after the first period. Second frame now, here come the Blitz. Max Lightfoot leading the rush. The puck is loose in the crease, and what a play from Matt Granger. He clears it off the goal line. The Blitz coming close, but it stays 2-0. Back the other way, Maverick Petrie digs it free in the corner to Matt Fuller, and he extends the lead. Fuller with a blast. He makes it 3-0, and the Irish keep keep coming. Graham Brulot with space on the near side, and he's got a goal. Brulot and the Irish with a 4-goal advantage, and they strike again 2 minutes later. Sean O'Brien brings the puck in front. It goes to Warren Gorman, and he makes no mistake. Gorman and the Irish with a 5-0 lead after 40 minutes. Let's move to the third. This is Sean O'Brien to Cooper Leach, and he buries another one. Stratford in control with a 7-0 lead, and their offense not done there. Mitchell Casey intercepting the pass, and it's a rocket from Casey. He makes it 8-0 for the Irish. The Blitz now trying to break up the shutout, but how about Darren Smith? He makes 2 huge saves, denying the Blitz. Smith would end up posting a shutout, and it's an Irish victory. They take it by a final score of 8-0 on Saturday afternoon at the Almond.
It's the 6-1 Allura Rocks and the 1-4-1 Alvinston Killer Bees tangling from the BAICC complex in Alvinston this past Saturday night. Picked this one up late in period 1 off the face-off win. Carson Perry back to Cam Rombouts, who scores to give the Bees the lead. It's 1-0 heading into the break. Second period, nearing the 4-minute mark, off the Rocks turnover, Derek Shaw is going to put it across to Alex Cunningham. His shot beats Rocks netminder Colin Dunn. It's 2-0 Alvinston. Under 8 to go, it's a Killer Bees odd man rush. Number 43, Cam Welch, is going to fire it across crease. Number 93, Carson Perry, credited with his 5th of the year. It's 3-0 Bees. But the defending champs starting the comeback here. 2-man advantage. Andrew Brubaker with the gorgeous pass to a wide-open Spencer Gourlay. He beats Nolan DeConing. His 7th makes it 3-1. Less than a minute later, this time it's Zach Cameron firing it toward the net. Gourlay again with the goal. Give him 2 on the night, 8 on the season. It's 3-2 headed to the third. Third period now, 4.5 minutes in. Rocks on another power play. Chaos in front. Loose puck will eventually find the tape of Blaze Bridges, his 2nd of the year. We are tied at 3. It would remain this way until overtime between the Rocks and the Bees. Nolan DeConing with a 10-bell save of the year candidate. He keeps it tied at 3. And then number 43, Cameron Welch, is the hero in Alvinston. He deflects Ty Johnson's shot from the line past the glove hand side of Dunn, ending a thriller. Alvinston improving to 2-4-1 on the season, while the Rocks slip to 6-1-1. 4-3 in overtime is the final. Next up, we go to Tilbury, the Tilbury Arena, where the 7-1 host Bluebirds welcomed in the 4-3 Strathroy Jets. Good goalie matchup in this one too. Josh Diamond for the Jets and Ryan Polidori for the Birds. Just over 5 minutes into period 1, Bluebirds strike first. On the man advantage, point shot from Evan Weber will be redirected by Dylan Denomi. That's his league-leading 13th of the season, and it's 1-0 Tilbury. Less than 5 to play in the period. Great individual effort here from number 15, Travis Winkworth. Wraparound goal makes it 2-0 Bluebirds. 2 minutes later, Tilbury not done in the period. Kyler Carter is going to pick up the puck, dances his way into the Jet zone, and it's another wraparound goal that somehow gets past Diamond. He wants that one back. It's 3-0 Tilbury after 1. Second period now, nearing 4 minutes to go in the frame, and we get more from Tilbury. Turnover in the Jet zone, Winkworth centering it to David LeBlanc. His second of the year, it's 4-0 headed into the third. Third period now, less than 7 minutes to go. Tilbury on the man advantage. Initial point shot here from Logan Piercy is denied, but it's Winkworth on the doorstep to put it past Diamond. That makes the score 5-0 at this point. It would be all the scoring in this one. Jets falling to 500 at 4-4, while Polidori stops all 30 for the shutout. Tilbury improves to 8-1 with a 5-0 victory. Our next contest comes from the friendly confines of the Delhi Arena, where the 2-6 Delhi Flames hosted Leah Klompmaker and the 1-6 Plattsville Lakers. Klompmaker becoming the first woman to start a men's semi-pro game, making her WOSHL debut. First period nearing 8 to play. Lakers on the board first. Point shot will eventually be put home by Hunter Dubecki. His third of the season makes it 1-0 Lakers. Less than a minute later, however, Flames respond. Kelsey Evaniamiran is going to take the drop pass, beating Klompmaker blocker side, and we're tied at 1. Ensuing faceoff, Delhi strikes again. This time it's Brady's turn. Tough one here for Klompmaker there. It's 2-1 Delhi. 2 minutes later, Flames strike again. Puck will find its way to Zach Mahalis. His shot from the point finds the back of the net. Flames now lead 3-1 after the first. Second period now, and we get another penalty shot awarded to the Plattsville Lakers. They seem to be getting a lot of these calls early on in the WOSHL season. This time it's going to be Devin Rymarchuk awarded one here. He moves in on Cody Odovishar. He will score. That's a big goal for Plattsville. It's a 3-2 Delhi lead. Nearing 4 minutes to play in the second. Lakers on the power play from the line. It's captain Kevin Hugh scoring his 7th of the season. We are tied at 3. 2 minutes later, another power play for the Lakers. Rymarchuk over to Hugh, who makes no mistake. His 8th of the year, 2nd of the game. Lakers lead 4-3. Time winding down in the period. Delhi responds on the power play. Number 23, Kyle Viger, pops the water bottle in behind Klompmaker. It's 4-4 headed to the third. After Kevin Hughes scored his third of the game 10 seconds into the period, it's Hugh again. Perfect shot for his 4th goal and 10th of the season. It's now 6-4 Plattsville. 9 to play in the third. This time it's Hunter Dubecki's turn. His 2nd goal and 4th of the season makes it 7-4. Time ticking down in the third. Net empty for Delhi, and Brody Martin deposits this into the empty net. Leah Klompmaker registering the win in her WOSHL debut and adds an assist for good measure. Kevin Hugh has 6 points. Lead the Lakers to their 2nd straight win. 8-4 is the final for the Lakers over the Delhi Flames. It's the Plattsville Lakers in the home whites and the visiting Strathroy Jets in some sharp black with orange trim as we get set for hockey here. Starting in goal for the Plattsville Lakers, number 1, Devin Clark. Starting in goal for the Strathroy Jets, number 33, Derek Malcolm. Well, that's unfortunate. Puck is controlled by Plattsville in their own end. Strathroy looking for it, but they won't come up with the puck. They'll manage to keep this puck in, though. Look out. Here's a chance. That's Menderelli with it. 26 shot, scores! Great centering pass. I didn't see who was on the receiving end of that, but Strathroy scores, and they now lead it 1-0. Strathroy's going to shoot this puck up, but it's going to be intercepted by the Jets. Look out. Here comes Dubecki, number 11. Centering pass, Hugh. Shot, nice save, rebound, scores! Hunter Dubecki, number 11 of Plattsville, respawns. And just like that, we are tied at 1. Number 13, Noah Bruinink. He looks after the puck, and he's going to get it, but it was a high stick. And there's a shot. They score! Strathroy scores on the delayed penalty. This puck was come out in front, and
Mandarelli, number 26, I believe, is going to get credit for this goal. Oh, hold on. Clark's been one of the busier goaltenders in the league this year, and good to see him in the net. Had him on the podcast, good guy. This one comes out, and Monas was able to glove that down, and now we have an odd man rush. Here comes Dubecki. Shot scores! Hunter Dubecki on the 2-on-1 keeps, and he scores. Accepted Mandarelli in across the line. Can't get a shot away, and it's going to be played over to Zier. Zier's going to bring it in across the line. They're onside this time. Dubecki shot, scores! Hunter Dubecki has the hat trick in the first. And just like that, it's 3-2 Strathroy. Wow. Unbelievable. Dubecki, have yourself a day, bud. Little floater. This one's ahead, look out! And across the line, no! And they're going to call a penalty, a late one. That's a late call, and it's on Horvat. And what do we got here? We're going to get a penalty shot for Strathroy. Look at that. Unbelievable. And again, folks, I apologize in advance here because 28's going to get this penalty shot, and I have no idea who he is. So we're going to get a penalty shot here again, and it's Strathroy that's going to get it. Here they come. Loads up and misses. A slapper goes wide on the blocker hand side. So put in around the net, and it's going to come all the way around. Look out. Big check there. Shot from the line, stopped by Malcolm. Could be the Jets puck. They're going to play this ahead, and it's going to be tipped to the line. Kept in nicely, though, by the Lakers. Shot scores! Deflection in front. Number 77, Brady Schmidt with the goal. And it'll be sent out to the line. Kept in, though, by the Jets. Chance here. No shot. Still at the line. Monas, shot. That one doesn't get through to Clark. Monas again, shot. That one deflected, look out! Oh, what a defensive play that was! Woo! Devin Clark was bailed out from his defender. Number 68, Mitch Randall. He might have been in alone. This one's up ahead. Hillier's going to grab the puck. He's got a step. Can't get the shot. Rebound! In front, scores! Great play by number 21, Stephen Hillier. Out front to number 15, Wes Houston, and he puts it past Clark, and that makes it 4-3. A 5:20 to play here in the second period. Jets have it. Off the board, shot, nice save by Clark. Rebound! Oh, that one was close as it was loose in front for a moment. Now it's ahead, look out! In across, shot scores! Lakers respond, wow! What a goal! He would have been, but he just throws it in deep. 12:43 to go now here in the third, and the Lakers continuing to hold on to their 2-goal lead. Shot, scores! Kevin Hugh sneaks one past Derek Malcolm on the glove hand side, short side. Bet he wishes he could have that one back. Third straight win after victory yesterday against the Delhi Flames, 8-4. This puck is ahead, look out! Shot scores! Wow! That's an unbelievable goal by the Lakers. And this one's going to go all the way back into the Lakers zone. Wow, what a chance there for the Lakers. This one's ahead. It'll be played in the middle, but it's going to be picked off. Still the Lakers puck, though, in their own end. Here they come, the other way. Kevin Hugh, in across the line. Shot scores! What a shot by Kevin Hugh. Number 9, Plattsville captain. That's his second of the period. LaBerge in deep, gonna play it in the middle. Blew it, shot, nice deflection away. Lakers are getting in front of everything. There's a shot, they score! Nolan blew it. Shot from the line from Alkins. Plattsville Lakers with the win. 8-4 is your final. A couple of 8-4 victories for the Lakers, and that gives them a record now of 3-6.
Our final stop of the weekend is from Erin, Ontario. The winless Erin Blitz hosting the red-hot Tillsonburg Thunder. Stephen Horvat starting for the Blitz while the Thunder countered with Matt Segrot. Picking things up in the first period, and it's the Erin Blitz are on the board first. Lucas Schott sending it out in front to Jordan Tutt. He beats Sagrad, and it's 1-0 Aaron. Still in the first, Blitz strike again. Brutal giveaway from the Thunder here leads to this Blitz goal. That fools Sagrad. Blitz increased their lead to 2-0. Thunder looking to respond, putting the pressure on Aaron, and it's number 23, Jack Gee, that is going to be the beneficiary here. He beats Horvat, and the Blitz lead is cut in half. It's 2-1 heading to the second. Second period now, still on the fresh ice. Odd man rush for the Thunder, and it's going to be Braden Roberts sniping his 6th of the season. That ties the game at 2. Still in the second period, Aaron Blitz looking to respond. Man advantage. It's going to find its way to Captain Jeff White. His blast from the line gets by Sagrad, and it's 3-2 Aaron. A few minutes later, it's Tilsonburg responding. And again, it's the red-hot Roberts capitalizing on the turnover. He scores his 2nd of the game, and we are tied at 3. Back come the Blitz, 4-on-4 hockey, and it's going to be Liam Silva beating Sagrad here with an absolute laser. It's 4-3 Aaron. Halfway through the third, back come the Thunder. This time it's going to be Jamie McQueen scoring his 3rd of the year, and that ties us up at 4. Less than a minute later, off the clean face-off win, this blast from Curtis Christo is going to put the Thunder in the lead. It's 5-4. Thunder will cap off the scoring in this one, just under 7 to play. It's Chris McGuffin deflecting the Chris Knotts point shot past Horvat, and that makes it 6-4 Thunder. The Blitz can't muster the comeback, and they fall to 0-7. Well, for the Thunder, they win their 5th in a row and improve to 6-1 on the season. 6-4 is your final.
Yeah, so guys, what a weekend it was. Really, it truly was. It was a great honor for me too, because I was back in the doing the broadcast for the Stratford Fighting Irish Aaron Blitz game on Saturday with Brian Hawley. Always a pleasure being able to call a game with him. He is excellent. And then, of course, shout outs to Jeff Zaire, who invited me down to go to Plattsville to do the Plattsville Strathroy game. That was really a cool experience for me. It's always good to be able to go to a barn and do a game and be able to call a game from a various for a new site. Actually, I've never been to Plattsville. It was really cool to be there. Great experience and a great hockey game. But just a wonderful weekend for me and a wonderful weekend in the WOSHL. So let's get you updated here, guys, in the standings. Tilbury Bluebirds now at 8-1. They are 3 points clear of the Elora Rocks, who are 6-1-1 in second place. The Tilsonburg Thunder, winners of 5 in a row, are 6-1. They have 12. They're one behind Elora. The Stratford Fighting Irish, winners of 4 in a row, are now up to 10 points, 5-2 record. The Strathroy Jets, losers of 3 in a row, they are now at 4-5. They have a 2-point cushion on the surging Plattsville Lakers, who have won 3 in a row. They are now at 3-6. Alvinston Killer Bees, a big win for them, a statement win, if I do say so myself, a big overtime win against the Elora Rocks. They are now at 2-4-1. They are 1 point back of the Plattsville Lakers. The Delhi Flames at 2-7, dropping their game against Plattsville on the weekend. They have 4 points, 1 behind Alvinston, 2 behind Plattsville. And then you have the Aaron Blitz, who are still searching for their first victory, but a great effort against the Tilsonburg Thunder. They are at 0-7. Our leading scoring update, we still have Vyacheslav Chagrinsev of the Tilbury Bluebirds leading the way. He is, 4 points clear of his teammate Dylan Denomi, who has 13 goals and 6 assists. Denomi's 13 goals lead all WOSHL goal scoring leaders, one ahead of Kevin Hugh, who had an unbelievable weekend, 6 goals, 9 points. He sits now in 3rd place in the point standings with 17. Spencer Gourlay with 16, Mitchell Van Teeling with 15, Chad Heron with 14, Graham Brulot and Travis Winkworth with 13 apiece, Wes Baker with 12, and Brody Smith with 11. But the scoring is all over the charts, guys. It's great to see, really it is. It was a wonderful weekend, like I said, in WOSHL, and we have another great weekend on tap. 4 games this upcoming weekend. We get underway on Friday, November the 18th, from the Gemini Sportsplex in Strathroy. The Elora Rocks and the Strathroy Jets. Rocks 6-1-1, Jets 4-5. That will be the 519 Sports Online game of the week. Kudos to them. They did terrific stuff. They have done some terrific stuff in the WOSHL this year and continue to do. They're so busy, guys. It's unbelievable what the work that they're doing. But we thank you. We thank them for their contribution. The Tilbury Bluebirds then go to Aaron on Saturday on November 19th. That goes at 7:30. The Bluebirds and the Aaron Blitz. And then at 7:30 as well from Tilsonburg, the Delhi Flames 2-7 and Tilsonburg Thunder at 6-1 tangle from the Tilsonburg Community Center. our final game of the weekend comes on Sunday, November the 20th at 3:30. It's the Alvinston Killer Bees 2-4-1 against the Plattsville Lakers at 3-6. And guys, remember, if you want to catch any games in the WOSHL, you can go on to Spotify and watch those games. They're great. The streams are great normally. I mean, normally speaking, there's some hiccups, sure. But we think we got them all sorted out in all 9 rinks. So make sure to check the website on the weekend, over the course of the weekend, and tune in to all the great WOSHL action. But yes, without further ado, we've done all that we could do up to this point. The rest is pretty self-explanatory. Our 2 guests on the podcast this week. First up is from the Plattsville Lakers, Leah Klompmaker. And then secondly, we have number 14 captain Scott Case of the Alvinston Killer Bees. So without further ado, we're going to go to those and enjoy the interviews. It was really great speaking with them. And well, here we go. So hey, folks, we're back here on the Western Ontario Super Hockey League podcast. This is episode number 8. We're very, very pleased at this juncture in the podcast to welcome in our first guest, and that is from the Plattsville Lakers, goaltender Leah Klompmaker. Leah, it's great to have you on. I really appreciate you coming on and doing this, and welcome to the podcast.
Thanks.
It's just, first of all, I want to get this out of the way. Congratulations, obviously, on signing with the Plattsville Lakers. It's been a whirlwind 2 weeks, I'll bet, for you. Getting the W on the weekend against Delhi, that's huge. Congratulations on that. Getting an assist and a big win for your team. And then obviously your team, a couple wins over the weekend. Just if you could, for me, take me through the process of how this all kind of came to be. Was it a whirlwind? Was it kind of crazy? Did it come around really quickly? Like, what was that process like for you?
Like getting on the team?
Yeah, like how did that all come together?
So I was playing like some summer hockey in London here, and then like just kind of getting back into it after graduating from McMaster. And then I was like looking around for teams, but there's not really a lot going on in girls hockey around here that I could find. So I was just I'd watched some of the WOSHL games last year, like from last season, in and around the area. And I don't know, thought the league was good competition level, seemed interesting. And one of my good friends was going out for some teams. So I just decided to join. He encouraged me to try out with him. So I went out to like a few different teams. I went to Stratford and Strathroy and Delhi and Plattsville. So Plattsville just had kind of the best feel in terms of like potential opportunities on the team, as well as like just the people were really welcoming. So just had a fun time at tryouts, just, treated it. I was just kind of going out there for fun, to be honest, and then ended up like making some connections with the coaches, and they really liked having me out. They liked my style of play and thought it would be a great opportunity to develop more being on that team. So it worked out.
Yeah, I'll say it worked out pretty well. I mean, again, a whirlwind couple of weeks for you, though, because you see your first action a couple of weeks ago in Tilbury when you come in relief. Devin was peppered all night in Tilbury against the Bluebirds, and obviously you feel for a goalie anytime they allow that many goals in a hockey game. But you came in a relief spot, it had to have been interesting for you to come in kind of cold turkey off the bench that way, as opposed to, okay, you're getting the start, you can mentally prepare. Take me through that relief appearance. You make a save from the blue line, a long shot, that is, but there was a couple opportunities. What was going through your head during that relief appearance?
Well, I had a good warm up before the game. I was just excited to be there on the bench with the team, and I don't know, maybe it was a good thing, just throw me in there with no overthinking beforehand.
Right.
So yeah, even with the game with Delhi, like it was kind of a last minute, like, oh, you're in tonight. So I think that didn't leave me too much time to like overthink it or get too worried about it. So it was really nice in Tilbury. Like even when I got out there, all the fans, even from the other team, were cheering and rooting me on.
Oh, that's great.
Said that after the game too. They're like, we're from the other team, but we were rooting for you. So it was just a nice feeling, like going out there, getting all the cheers from the fans, and first couple shots in the league.
Yeah.
Got a good feel, and yeah, it was good.
Absolutely. I mean, and again, like, I know it was great for you. Honestly, I was rooting for you. Obviously, I thought that was pretty cool, coming in the relief spot, and it was nice that you were able to take a shot and then see kind of a little bit of a taste of it before your first game action. And then let's talk about the Delhi game. So that's a huge game for you guys in general, your team, the Plattsville Lakers, because you come away with an 8-4 victory. Take us through the game from your perspective, though. I mean, it obviously didn't get off to a great start, but you calmed down and you were able to rebound. Take us through that what was that experience like for you?
Yeah, the first period, even though I didn't want to admit it, but I felt pretty nervous in the first.
Sure.
I was playing nervous. You could tell if you rewatched, I didn't really want to leave my net to play the puck. I was kind of just panic, and honestly just had to get some shots and get into the game and just feel the shots and get in there. There was 3 goals in the first. Pretty, I guess I felt they were quick, but one of them snuck through and it was kind of frustrating. Should have had that one, but there was also some screens. So, it's a bit of an adjustment. There's a lot more traffic and big bodies in front of me, which I'm not used to. So That's an adjustment. And yeah, I just as I got into the game, the nerves kind of subsided and I was able to play more my game. So got better as the night went on.
Well, sure. And that was the thing, right? I did notice too, I'm not 100% sure whether or not the shot totals were accurate, but again, it felt like though throughout the course of the game, the busier you got, the more pucks you saw, the more comfortable you got. You would agree with that, right?
Yeah, that's generally how it goes. For me, the more the busier I am, the better I play. So.
And what did you think of the speed? How would that have compared to, say, your time even at McMaster? I mean, again, I understand women and men, 2 different, genres or genders. But what did you think of the speed of this league and the speed of the game and the tempo?
Yeah, the speed, it's different. The style of play is different. There's a lot more crisp passing in this league, and those backdoor plays that you have to look out for.
Right.
And also just the skilled shots, you don't see that quite as much, at least with my experience.
Right.
And jumping from McMaster to this, it's definitely a step up, but I'd say the pace and everything was pretty similar to what I played when I played in Clarington. I played midget AA there, and the speed is pretty similar, and quick rebounds, lots of action and fast passing, fast shots. So it's just, I'd say in this league there's a bit more of a sniper aspect and more accurate passing, I think.
Fair enough. And I mean, yeah, you said it, you hit the nail on the head there too. There's a lot of talent in this league, a lot of good scores. I mean, you guys have one of the best in your captain, Kevin Hugh. He's unbelievable. Guy scores 4 straight for your team to really take control of that game. What I want to take away from that is, as a goaltender, not only do you have the best seat in the house for the game, I think, but it's just also so interesting, to be able to play and watch these guys play and watch how good they are. But what I was really impressed with the Lakers especially is how they kind of came together to rally behind you and knowing, okay, we got her in there, a couple bad ones, sure. But we got to rebound and we got to come together. And I think they did that. How impressed were you with their play and their ability to come back in that hockey game and ultimately get you the win?
Yeah, I think they really stepped it up in front of me. And, I'm out there every week for practice, and, we have a good morale on the team, and everybody was motivated and ready to go for that game. I think even gave them a bit of a, let's play for, let's go. It's their first game. Let's get a win here.
Right.
So it was nice to see everybody stepping up and playing the game that we can play, and we haven't really shown that a whole lot before, but we're starting to piece things together and get our lines going, and it's good to see everything coming together finally.
Well, absolutely. And like I say, your team's on a roll, winners of 3 in a row. You guys are now 3-6, all the way up to 6th place in the WOSHL standings, which is awesome. It's just anytime you can get a bit of momentum on your side to keep rolling, that is a definitely a good thing. Explain to me a little bit about the relationship maybe you have with Devin Clark, the other goaltender. I mean, goalie tandems are everything. And obviously you guys have a couple others that you rotate through, and that's all good. But how has he been helpful in terms of your, comfort level with this league, and like have you leaned on him, like had conversations, that sort of thing?
I think we both like play pretty individually, so
Okay.
we chatted a few times, ready for a good one out there, like small shots, but
Right.
not too much like, I guess, coaching or anything yet.
Right.
But we definitely like can learn from each other, and I definitely watch like even other goalies on other teams too, just like kind of the way they move around the net, and you try to like look at what they're doing and see if you can add anything into your game. And I feel like I could always go to him and ask like, oh, like when you do this and that, like, ask him about his game and take tips and tricks from him. So it's nice to like feel that, he's open to that. So
Yeah, and Devin's a great guy. I've had him on the podcast, and I've spoken to him a few times. He's just such a stand-up guy, just a real good individual.
Dude, like he's always smiling.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you could be that happy. No, just joking. But no, he's just a really good dude. He seems to be very smart in terms of his knowledge of the game. And like the other thing is too, I'll bet you he probably told you about. He probably says, "Hey, I hope you got your conditioning down, because there's a lot of shots that he's faced so far in this league." Now, whether or not that's actually accurate, it could be people in the press box or whichever calculating shots, maybe going a little bit too shot happy with their hands. But
yeah,
I don't know for sure.
Seems like a bit high to me, but
yeah,
I feel like it's busy. It's a busy game, but yeah.
And then the other thing I wanted to ask you too, like there had to be some reservations though about playing a men's game. I mean, or not a men's game. I mean, in a men's league. Excuse me. I make sure I clarify that statement. Did you worry, I guess, at all about maybe being accidentally run into or something like that? Was that on your mind at all, about maybe the dangers, that possibility? I mean, I know that seems silly, but that had to be going on your mind somewhere.
No. No, that doesn't really cross my mind. Like I've had injuries before, and like I don't know, you just go through it and
Right.
get over it.
I mean, if it happens, it happens, I guess.
Yeah,
right?
like I'm not too worried about it. I guess I just have like the confidence in my D-man and my team that they're there to protect me, and no messing around. So I don't worry about it too much. I'm just there, to make the saves and have fun, and keep your eyes up when you cover the puck, because people can get bumped around, can
Absolutely.
run in, especially when you're down covering the puck. It's always a danger, but that's inherent in the game. So
well, let's just hope that the worst thing is that you get snowed. Let's just hope that that's the worst of it, you know what I mean?
yeah.
And then I want to take you back to your time with McMaster, the women's team over there. Like there had to be a lot of good memories that came out of that. Was there any like particular moments that you remember that kind of stick out above the rest?
I think like honestly it was just like training with the team and like making friends and having that like relief from school, like to take away the stress,
Right.
like was really nice. And then you just kind of band together, and like it's more than just a hockey team. Like you make friends, and like you do activities together, you train together, you have morning workouts and everything like that. So I think just like having that outlet, especially while in school, was like really important for me.
Well, I could understand that. I mean, again, life is tough. I mean, school is tough in general too. And if you have something that you can do that you enjoy and to take your mind off it, like you said, I think that's wonderful. Obviously, the balance is important though too. So schoolwork is important. And in terms of the game of hockey, like take me back a little bit further. Like, what was it about this game that was something you wanted to get involved? Was it maybe a parent that put you in hockey? Was it your decision? Like, do you remember kind of like what it was about even playing goal that was like something like, oh yeah, I really want to do that?
Yeah, so I started out in goalie like really young because like I just joined a house league, kind of like co-ed league when I was super young. I think I might have been like 6 or 7.
Okay.
And they kind of just rotate you through the goalie position.
Okay.
And I had like the most fun like ever in that position. Apparently, like my dad told me after the game, like I told him that I wanted to be a goalie all the time because I just like had so much fun diving all over the place. And then like you know how everyone cheers for you when you make a big save.
Of course.
I think I like that as well. Like you just make a big save and everyone like comes to talk to the goalie after the game. So it's like that was a fun aspect of it. So that's definitely how I got like into it, and then like it just progressed from there, I guess. Like some of the girls I played soccer with, like they were on a rep team in Durham West, like Pickering area.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, we need a goalie, like you want to come out, and it just went from there. So I played in Durham West for like 5 years, and then
Oh wow.
when my younger sister was joining hockey, we lived in like Oshawa, Clarington region. So just with like the limited time to commute, then I moved to Oshawa for a year. And that was a good development year because we got peppered. We were like one of the bottom teams, but like I got the most shots. I think I like gained a lot of skills that year.
Perfect.
And then went to Clarington the year after that and played like all my midget years there. And we did really well. Like we went to like a lot of championships and won a lot of medals in tournaments. And we actually played the team China, like the Olympic team when they were training for the Olympics too. So
Cool.
yeah, a lot of cool stories from all the years playing.
Right on. Well, hey, listen, I mean, you know what? That's really cool. I always find that really interesting to hear kind of people's past to where they are in their hockey careers now and the transition and that sort of thing. Obviously, you pick up a lot of different skills, whether it be hockey skills or life skills in general, and you get to a lot of different opportunities, whether it be to travel, whether see different places. There's a lot of potential for that, which is really, really cool. And then you obviously have in your school and that background and that as well with your balancing of everyday life. I mean, that's really cool. It sounds like you got a lot going on, but it sounds like you're really enjoying yourself, and that's wonderful. I'm really happy about that. I guess my last question to you. So, like I said, we've talked about this a little bit. Plattsville's really seemed to turn it around here lately. I guess do you have any sort of individual goals for the rest of the season, or are you just like what do you expect from the Lakers for the rest of the year?
I mean, I obviously hope to get in some more games, and you know, not come out in the first period nervous and be able to play my game from the hop, and just really work on developing in practice. You know, facing those tough shots from some of the snipers on our team, and just enjoy it. And yeah, maybe like look at some goalie training videos and try to incorporate some of the new stuff into my game.
Right on. Well, you know what? Hey, listen, this has been awesome having you come on and speak with us about how things are going so far and your hockey career so far. So just again, congratulations on the win. Congratulations on the assist and everything else. Like it's really inspiring, and hopefully it can inspire other females to get involved in this league or other men's leagues around and know that anything's possible. So, I mean, you're a huge role model in this league, and I hope you know that, and I hope you can appreciate that as well. But again, congratulations. And we've been speaking with Leah Klompmaker from the Plattsville Lakers, goaltender over there. Big win for her against Delhi. Thank you for coming on and doing this. We really appreciate it, and we'll catch up with you throughout the rest of the season.
Okay. Thanks for having me. And thanks for all the questions. It was good talking to you.
All right, folks, we continue on Western Ontario Super Hockey League podcast, episode number 8. Andrew Rogers, the host, of course, back with our next guest on the Western Ontario Super Hockey League podcast, and that is from the Alvinston Killer Bees, captain number 14, Scott Case. Scott, it's great to have you back on. with me here on the podcast. You're a great friend, and we appreciate you coming on and doing this. Thanks and welcome.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for having me back.
Of course, it's always a pleasure to speak with you. I love getting your insight on the game, and you're a great ambassador of this league, and I really appreciate you speaking with you on a variety of subjects. This season for Alvinston, you're second in the WOSHL and second as team captain through 7 games, 2-4-1 record. Take us through and kind of assess how the season is going in your opinion to this point.
Yeah, I think we're pretty happy with the way things have started here. For the most part, every game we've been right in it. Other than the Tilsonburg game, we've had good effort all across the board, and yeah, I think we're pretty happy so far with how it's going. Obviously, we think our record should or could be a little bit better at this point, but we're pretty happy with where things are headed.
Yeah, and it's true to a fact. Like, I thought the game that you guys played against the Strathroy Jets was unreal. Like, I want to talk about that first. We'll get into the Elora game over the weekend because that one was a big win for you guys. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. But take me back to the Strathroy game because that was sick. Like, they had you, and then you guys mount this big comeback in the third period, and then they ultimately get the winner in overtime, and you salvage a point, but the 2 points would have been huge. Take us through that game from your perspective. Like, how impressed, I guess, were you that the guys battled, and then obviously the unfortunate result?
Yeah, no, I think that's the way our team's built this year. You know, like the compete level up and down the lineup is it's very high. Everybody's there to compete every single shift, and I don't know, that game was kind of a statement for us that, like, no matter where the game is going, we're not going to go away. You know,
right?
Whether we're going to be pesky and stick around or we're going to fight for the extra point in overtime. You know, it's up and down our lineup, first line to fourth. It's a group that really wants to win, and we've come together very quickly. So that, you know, it's surprising to come back in a game like that, but heading out for the third, I don't think anybody was writing that one off quite yet.
Absolutely. And it showed even in, like, say, the highlights and watching it back. Like, man, what an effort from your guys. And ultimately, yeah, you get the point. And then, yeah, you're the only team in WOSHL that's played 2 overtime games so far this season. The second one being this past weekend, an absolute thriller against the defending champs. I mean, again, you go up there in that game 2-0, squander the lead, get it back. Like, it's a back and forth game in that third period. And then ultimately, yeah, the winner in overtime off the stick of Cam Welch with an unbelievable tip in front too, by the way, after Nolan makes probably one of the save of the year candidates. Like, what, that game had a little bit of everything, didn't it?
Yeah, that game was that was probably the most fun hockey game I've been a part of since this league's came together. That game was it was just like a roller coaster, you know, like we were up big, then they tied it, and the guys just kept battling. And you know, going into overtime, we have some studs, some absolute young kids that are just like, Welchie was a huge addition to us, and when they're on the ice 3-on-3, you're pretty confident that they're going to generate something between him and Perry and you know, Winchester.
Right.
Guys are wheeling out there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we're pretty confident going into those situations, and then having Nolan back there is you feel pretty confident that he's going to make every single save that he should. The guy is a phenomenal goaltender.
Yeah, so, and like I say, yeah, you just hit the nail on the head. A couple guys that have really played really well for you guys this season, and the first one being Carson Perry. I mean, I don't know how much time you spend on the ice with him, if you guys are on the same line or not, but it's got to be kind of nice even sitting back and just watching him do his thing. Like, he's so talented.
Yeah, the only time I'm on the ice with him is at practice.
Fair enough, Scott. Fair enough.
You know, he's pretty quick out there. He plays with the more skilled guys.
Sure.
We are pumped that he joined this year. You know, I've heard the name around there. I've heard really good things, and then just seeing him play, he's one of those guys. Like, he plays with an edge. He's competitive as anybody out there, and you really like to see that. You know, coming off with a bit of emotion sometimes, but the kid's a gamer for sure. I love having him.
Absolutely, and he's paid dividends for you guys so far. I've seen him multiple times on the stat sheet, and it's just great to see him going out, working hard, and producing. That's huge. And then obviously for Nolan DeConing coming in, like, guy's been absolutely incredible. Faced a barrage of shots in the starts that he's had, and he's produced, and he's been dynamite for you guys. How impressed have you been with his play?
Well, yeah, and hearing about him from Junior B last year with Chatham, it's no surprise that he's come in and been our rock back there.
Right.
Really all season we've had really good goaltender performances from him. Spencer Robertson got in there for a great game in Strathroy, and then Connor Latchford. Unfortunately, Latch is on the shelf with a bit of an injury right now, but
Right.
we also have Dane Gubbles. So like you look at our four goaltenders on the roster, and every night we're pretty happy with who we got back there. But yeah, Nolan is a absolute game changer back there. Just so calm, and he makes every play that you'd expect out of a goalie at this level.
Oh, absolutely. And then that's got to be nice in playing in front of that, knowing that you have a little bit of stability back there and that you can kind of feel more free and loose to play your game. Scott, again, you take it like it is, if you can, maybe try and compare what last year to this year, and maybe if there's been some differences. I mean, obviously getting better goaltending is a start. Having people buy in and maybe showing up at practices or commitment maybe be the other. What has been the biggest change that you've noticed from year 1 to year 2 in the Alvinston organization?
Well, last year mid-season they had basically a wholesale change at who was running the show and how things were going to be, and things slowly started to change then. This off season, our executive, our management, they've been outstanding. Like raising money, getting the community involved, and then just finding players. Like on most nights right now, there's only maybe 5 or 6 returning guys in the lineup, and the rest are all brand new, and I'd say improvements for the most part. Like they've gone out and found so many guys that just added. It's a totally different experience. Last year we were basically more or less we were kind of a joke to a lot of people. The community still supported us, but then this year, you're seeing the arena is pretty packed. The arena is super loud. I've
I've noticed that.
Crazy. You're showing up for a game, and people they're into it, which is awesome. Feed off that, and basically top to bottom, it's just been like top notch treatment this year. Everything's organized well. Joe Rumbouts has done a fantastic job as coach. He knows exactly how to handle guys at this level.
Right.
Keeps it nice and light. It's just fun. It's everybody's buying in, and it's a good time.
Well, and that's sick. And that's what I've noticed. A big change has been the in-game entertainment. I mean, after you guys score and that camera's rattling because you got that sound machine that's just blaring through the whole arena, and the smoke show, obviously, too. I mean, that you know what? That's got to be kind of nice, though. Like for team morale and team success, having people show up is one, and having like to feel like you're in the game and ready to go. Those are 2 big areas that can lead to a team to turn it around and be successful.
Yeah, 100%. And the guys on the bench, like whether you're playing in the third or you're basically cheering on the other guys, like up and down our roster, like guys are just so competitive and they want to win.
Yeah.
Like the guys that are back from last year, the couple home wins we've had have just felt amazing, because last year we were losing, you're losing by double digits in front of friends and family, and it felt pretty shitty most nights.
Well, I don't get it.
To show up now and you have a packed crowd and a packed bar there, and people are going, pretty wild for a hockey game in a small town. It just feels amazing to be a part of it.
Well, and you know what? It's funny too. Like you could see in that game, like you'd say whirlwind of emotions against Allura, and obviously, when that tipped one goes home from Welch past Dunner, and he just slams his goal stick off the crossbar and just demolishes in half. Like talk about emotion. I mean, that right there should give you all the indication of how good this league is in terms of the talent, the skill level, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, and that's what you want. You want guys that want to win, and the compete level every night is great. I've caught a few games from streaming online there, and it seems like there's never really a dull game this year. So that's what you want to see out of the league.
Yeah, that's been the interesting part. I mean, this expansion thing really could have, like, it really added a lot of variables in terms of whether or not teams would be good, whether or not they'd be not so good. I mean, some more fortunate than others. If you look at Tilbury, whatever they've put in the water on the bench there seems to be working pretty well for them. They're hot out of the gate, 8-1. But then you have teams like Delhi, Plattsville's coming along, and then Aaron is struggling, but they're still hunting for their first win. In terms of like this league, I mean, yeah, having competitive balance has definitely been pretty interesting so far, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, and like we've only seen one of the new three teams. We have Plattsville this Sunday, so it'd be
Right.
nice to play a different team that we haven't seen yet. So, but from what I've seen, like the teams are doing great. They're competing. I watched a bit of the Aaron game the other night, and like they're going through some growing pains, but they're
Mm-hmm.
they're playing some top teams. You're playing Alora and Tilsonburg pretty regularly, so
Right.
it's not going to be easy as a new team. We found that out last year, so
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm excited that there's a little bit more variance in who you're playing because last year that got a little old at times playing the
Sure.
same few teams. So
Of
yeah,
course.
it's great to see them expanding, and yeah, I'm excited to see the other three, I guess, new teams that we haven't seen
Yeah.
yet.
No, absolutely. It's just great with all this different variation and different competitiveness and all the skill level because it's so skilled, right? So it's just great to see. Yeah, Aaron really pushed Tilsonburg. That was a pretty impressive game to watch. The highlight pack was excellent that I put together. They were right in it for pretty much right up until the third period, and then Tilsonburg get a couple quick ones, and next thing you know, the game's out of hand. Scott, so let's talk about Alvinston and this whole Movember cause because you did an unbelievable job last year, and I know that you probably don't want to put a lot of the credit on yourself, but man, you really did put an unbelievable effort in last year with your Movember campaign and the Killer Bees campaign for that, and it did so well. How's things going again this year? Where are we at about the halfway point of the month?
Yeah, I think last I checked there was I think we're sitting about $400, but there's quite a bit of cash donations that still need to be added in, and people to follow up, and I got to do some legwork and check in with a few people. I think we'll be well over $1,000 again this year, which
That's
is
amazing, dude.
yeah, it feels good. Like whatever we can do in the small town to promote men's health and suicide awareness. It's a pretty easy fundraiser to take part in. All you gotta do is grow a mustache. So um,
For
yeah,
some,
so
that's harder to do than others, though, bro.
yeah, yeah. So we got that going again. We just had our hockey fights cancer night, silent auction, jersey auction. Partnered with I believe it's called Campfire Circle. It used
Okay.
to be Camp Trillium,
Okay.
and the team ended up presenting them with a check for over $4,000. So
That's amazing, man.
yeah, it feels great when you can see your efforts, and the executive worked really hard to get that going, and yeah, it goes to a great cause that you know everyone does. No one has a tough time donating to families that have children that go through cancer or anything like that. So it's a great fundraiser. Yeah, hopefully we can do some more community stuff in the works here. I know they're talking about doing a few more things. So yeah, we just try to stay active and help out as much as we can.
Well, I'll tell you this, man. It's no so like you may sound like talk like it like oh yeah, it's no big deal, but it's a big deal, dude. And the work that you're doing, the groundwork that you're putting in, is definitely showing in spades, and it's wonderful the work that you do and the time that you put in. So kudos to you on that, dude, and all the credit to you on it. So keep up the good work there. It's great to see, and definitely pleased about that. Um, this thing about so you're the captain of the Alvinston Killer Bees. You've been since the inauguration. You're the first, and the still. What is that role like? How have you felt like you've grown in that role as team captain? I mean, there's a lot of responsibility to come along with that. I mean, being the leader, being an outspoken individual, that sort of thing. Like, what is it? The experience been like for you in year two?
It it's honestly it's a pretty easy job with the room we have.
Right.
I have the C on my jersey, but there's probably about 20 guys in there that when they say something, it carries some weight to it. So, you know, you try to like welcome the new guys, keep everybody tight. Basically just be a guy that guys can come to with whatever they need. Whether that's hockey related or outside of that, I'm big on pushing people being comfortable being with the team. But like I said, we have so many guys in that room that are good character guys, which makes my job easy. So
Of course.
yeah, it's fun. It's fun being there with the guys, and you know, we probably have 20 guys that could wear that C, no doubt about it.
Well, and that's good. I mean, sometimes that could go either way, right? I mean, it could be like a too many voices in the room kind of thing. But if you got a lot of leadership and people with leadership qualities, that can really bode well together. So there's obviously, yeah, like you know, again, 2-4-1 so far out of the gate. There's a lot of season left. I guess, what are your expectations for the rest of the year moving forward?
I think we got big things in our future. This group, we have a lot of skilled guys. We have some role type guys. The GM's always searching for new additions. Welchie coming on here with us is a huge boost. He's a guy that signed earlier but hadn't played yet, so he's been in the lineup for a couple of games now, and he's going to help us a ton. He's a very good two-way player. So, you know, and easily we could have 2 or 3 more wins on our record there. So I think we're happy with where we are. Hopefully we get to playoffs and we can make some noise.
Well, I think you'll definitely make some noise no matter who you're going to play. I think you guys would be a tough opponent. If I speak it so bluntly, I honestly would. If it was up to me, I wouldn't want to play you guys in the playoff round. That's for sure. It'd be just so unpredictable, and yeah, I could go either way. I think that's what's so great about this league, Scott, is that literally on any night, any team can beat any other team in any given night. I think that's what makes this league so exciting. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I'd totally agree with that. Every single night you're going to run into a highly skilled team, so you got to show up, you got to be ready to work, and I think more than ever this year it's going to be tight right to the end.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more, man. Points are at a premium, and if you guys can go on a heater after this big win that you guys had, overtime win against the Elora Rocks, I think that'll play big factor in how this season goes the rest of the way for you guys. But definitely big win. Congratulations on that, and all the best throughout the course of the rest of the season. We've been talking with the Alvinston Killer Bees captain, number 14, Scott Case. Scott, absolute pleasure having you on here, man, having you come on and speak. And like I said, best of luck the rest of the way, and we'll catch up again soon. Thanks so much for coming on.
All right, thanks. I got one more person to shout out.
Absolutely.
So Marnie Cumming with the Alvinston Killer Bees, she's kind of a behind the scenes big figure. She's the one that her along with the executive, they get things going from meat raffles to the events to ordering merch, working the door. So I just wanted to give her a shout out because she's somebody that puts in a ton of hours and a ton of work, and you know, we appreciate her. So I just wanted to give her a quick shout out. She's kind of behind the scenes making things happen. So thank you, Marnie, for all you do for the Killer Bees.
That's awesome. Well said. Thanks a lot for that, Paul. And I know she'll appreciate it. But like I said, we'll catch up with you throughout the course of the rest of the season, and best of luck rest of the way. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thank you.
All right, folks, back here on the Western Ontario Super Hockey League podcast. I want to thank Leah Klompmaker for joining us, as well as Scott Case. We want to thank Sleeman Breweries for sponsoring the Western Ontario Super Hockey League podcast. It's great to have them on board, and we appreciate all their support. We also appreciate your support, the viewer and the fans of WOSHL, and we appreciate you guys continuing to tune in. I am Andrew Rogers, your host, saying so long for another episode. Keep tuning in every week, and we'll have a new one for you next week. Enjoy the WOSHL this weekend. Be safe out there now that the snow is coming down and the weather's getting nasty out there. So drive safe, be cautious, and all that, and continue to support the Western Ontario Super Hockey League. We'll see you guys next week. Andrew Rogers signing off, and we'll see you. Take care.